Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i mursaleen, Nabi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Marhaban bikum wa barakallahu fikum. Ya ayyuha shabab, this is your senior age or youth, your brother Khaleel Davis. With you again, Tawheed before toast, yani starting your day with Tawheed before you eat your breakfast, i.e. your toast. So we want to mention today another beneficial reminder and advice, and use a terminology that is well known amongst the people in the streets, but we want to make a disclaimer before then that we don't do these videos in order to endorse or promote the street life, yani rather to help clarify the deen of Allah wa ta'ala. As Allah wa ta'ala said, He sent messengers to speak the language of their people, yani in order to clarify for them, yani the deen. So we use these terminologies in the language of the youth, yani in order to clarify the deen for them, yani to set the narrative, to change the narrative, and using words they're familiar with, because our Muslim youth are involved and captivated by the streets, whether we want to realize it, recognize it, or accept it or not. Yani. So we do this in order to, yani, as we say, to bring the attention to the Kitab and Sunnah, but understand the Salaf of this Ummah. Yani. So it's not an endorsement or promotion of the streets. Yani. So with that being said, we want to take another term today, yani, and the term that we want to take is living rent-free. Yani, living rent-free. And for those who are my peer group and they may fit these, or those who are above, who may not know it, and there may be some who know it, but for educational purposes, yani, rent-free means that when a person has someone in their mind constantly, they can't get that person out of their mind, so therefore that person is living rent-free in their mind. And so it's not someone who's living rent-free in an apartment or in a house, yani. They're living rent-free in that person's mind because the person can't get them out of their mind, yani. So we said we want you to be rent-free, yani. We want you to be rent-free, yani. Alhamdulillah wa lillahi alhamd. But be rent-free with Allah wa ta'ala in your mind, because Allah wa ta'ala mentioned His remembrance is akbar, yani. It's greater. So we want you to be rent-free, yani, but with Allah wa ta'ala in your mind. Thinking about your next goal for Allah wa ta'ala, yani. Think about how you're going to worship Allah. Think about how much you love Allah wa ta'ala. Think about the favors of Allah upon you. Think about how merciful Allah is, yani, to us. So be rent-free, yani. We want you to be rent-free, but with Allah wa ta'ala. Don't turn away from this, because Allah wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً دَنْكَ. Yani, whoever turns away from my remembrance, for him is a miserable life. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. And on Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day of judgment, we'll raise this person blind, yani. So meaning that you will be in full regret, yani, in full regret, yani, regret, meaning after having sight, yani, because the revelation came, the clarity came, yani, on that day you'll be blind, yani, because you turned away from the remembrance of Allah wa ta'ala. So be rent-free, yes, yani, but with Allah wa ta'ala in your mind, because Allah said once again, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً دَنْكَ. Yani, for the one who turns away from our remembrance will have a miserable life, yani. So you want a good life? We know you want a good life, ya shabab or youth. You want a good life. We want you to have a good life, because Allah says in the Quran, رَبَّنَا أَتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Allah gives the good in this life and the good in the next, and save us from the punishment of the hellfire. So we want the good in this life, yani. But Allah said if you turn away from His remembrance, you have a ma'ishatan danka, yani, a miserable life. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. And He be raised on Yawm al-Qiyamah, we raise you, meaning Allah wa ta'ala, Yawm al-Qiyamah blind, yani. So we want you to be rent-free, but with Allah wa ta'ala on your mind. So with that, we say anything we said that is correct from Allah alone. This has been my advice for myself first and foremost, and then for you, ya shabab or youth, barakallahu fikum. So anything we said that is correct is from Allah alone. Anything we said from mistake is from the stuttering of this tongue, imperfections of this tongue, imperfections of this knowledge, of my knowledge, and the imperfections, yani, of our presentation, and the whispers of the shaitan, and Allah is free of all of it. So we say, Subhanak Allahumma yamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk, aqulu qali hadha, astaghfirullah li wa lakum, wa an-nas fi al-ibadat, hafidhakum Allah min kulli shar, wa askanakum fi jannati. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, wa tabakum Allah.